Morning, folks. Milk Money back with y'all again today. I want to start off by apologizing. I know I told you on the last video that I was going to try to make more videos and put them out a little faster for y'all. My plan was to make like one, maybe two a week, but try to get at least one a week. There's an old saying that Jericho has referred to several times: tell God your plans and watch him laugh. So I had put all this ahead of everything, and I was going to do this, and this, and it didn't happen. Right after the last video, my mother had a massive heart attack. She's okay, but she had a massive heart attack. Never been sick in her life, no heart problems, no lung problems, none of that. And then all of a sudden, out of the blue, she just has a massive heart attack. Has to go in and have a triple bypass and some other work done. So it got scary there for a minute. So while we was helping her, which she done a very fast recovery. Like I said, she's fine now. That's been almost a month ago, or right a month ago. Well, a week and a half ago, I had to go in. I had a massive umbilical hernia that was probably about the size of a tennis ball, we thought. But after the doctor got in there working on it, he said it was more the size of a softball. So he was able to get that fixed for me. I'm still out right now for a couple more days before I go back to work. But I decided to get out here and try to do some more videos for y'all. So I do apologize. I'm going to go ahead and get on with the video. But I just want to let y'all know what was going on. Not trying to get a sob story here. Just want to let you know that have really been trying. It's been hard. So anyway, this is part 2 to our little series about where to get pigeons, how to get pigeons, what kind of pigeons do you want, what kind of loft do you need, all that kind of thing. So this is part 2 that I have determined now that you have decided what birds you want. You want show birds, you want race birds, you want, processed feeding for meat birds, this, and this. Now you have to decide what loft you want. On me personally, I do more racing. I've got just a couple that belong to Jericho that are not racing birds. There's like a giant runt cross type thing that she has over there, Tom Selleck. Y'all seen him in past videos. But other than those two, everything else in my loft is all strictly racing birds, which I'm going to get into in another video pretty quick, I hope. I've got new birds. I think I might have showed them to y'all already, but I'll go into more. I did find out some information about how much these birds were actually worth and their bloodlines. It was some unfortunate circumstances that come due that I got into these bloodline of birds. It was an older gentleman. He had double pneumonia, and he was part of the race club. He passed away, and I was able to get a handful of the birds off of his. So that's my main blood now. And then I've got another friend of ours in the race club, and I actually bought some young birds and some breeder birds from him. And then I still have a couple of my older birds. I think it's Allie and Noah. And then I have one more piebald blue bar I think I kept. Everything else I had in my loft, I've actually gave away to make room for all these new ones. There again, you don't want to overcrowd your loft, which mine right now, the big loft is slightly overcrowded. Nothing bad. I mean, I've got room for more birds. It's just I don't like to pack that many in there. So getting down to it, again, you have to forgive the birds on them in the background too, crowing. I'm sorry. But anyway, back to the loft size. They say you want at least 1 square foot per bird that you have in your loft. So an 8 by 10 loft, you could put 80 birds. A 4 by 5, you could put 20 birds comfortably. This, and this. My loft behind me here is inside of another big shop. This shop is a 24 by 28. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. I'm still coughing from my surgery thing. But anyway, this loft is built inside of another building. The building itself is 24 by 28. I have some more lofts in here, some breeder cages, all that kind of stuff too. I'm going to be building some more in the future also in here. This whole place will be nothing but just pigeon with a few chicken stuff. But this loft behind me is an 8x12. So technically I could put around 96 birds in this loft and get away with the rule of thumb. I don't like doing that. It's still, to me, it's still overcrowded. One of my other buddies, he says that he likes to divide that back down by 3. So we're looking at what, 33 birds? I've got a few more than that. But the deal is, I have a new loft that should be here any minute. They're supposed to be calling me. I paid for it this morning. They're going to go ahead and deliver this afternoon. Jerica said if I let her get a new chicken coop for hers, pre-built new chicken coop, one of these fancy deals, that I could go ahead and get the new loft. So I have an 8x12 loft coming. It's an 8x12 loft, be outside. That's going to be coming here shortly. So technically, that can hold another 96 birds. That loft will only be for my race team. That's going to be my just race-specific loft. So a lot of these birds are here right now. There's probably 20 to 25 of these will be moving out there. So that'll give me a lot more room in here. I'm going to redo this whole breeding loft with some new breeding cages and some other stuff, nest boxes and all that. So it'll look a whole lot different in some of the future videos. But, so you don't have to have a monster loft. Birmingham rollers, you can get away with a smaller loft for them. They are a smaller bird. You can get away with a smaller loft. A 4x5 foot loft for them, I've seen people pack in 30, 40 birds, but they're flying those birds every day for a few hours a day at least. Try to every day. Some days the weather doesn't hold up or you have other stuff you have to get done. But for the most part, they fly them almost every day. So those birds are constantly getting exercise. You just don't want those birds to be crammed in a small space for a long time. It's just not right. So that's why I have this one. The birds can fly around. That says 8x12. And plus I have a small fly cage outside this loft where they can go out. So it's a 4x4 by 4 foot tall. They can go outside, get fresh sunlight, you know, all this stuff. The windows stay open in the big loft or the big shed here. And plus I have AC if I ever need it, if it got too hot in here. But, so my loft shed, like I said again, is 8x12. I have another 8x12 coming. I'm fixing to build another, that was my original plan, was just to build a loft. So I've already got part of the materials, but I was going to build a loft originally, like a 7x7 for my race team. But since I actually got a good deal on this other one they're going to bring, I went and got it. So I'm going to still build another 7x7 and probably do a young bird and an old bird racing team type deal. So I have those in different lofts, that kind of thing. But there again, if you want to do show birds, this loft behind me, 8x12, would be great for several fantails. Some of your, I don't even know how to pronounce half the names on those. You have to research that yourself. But I think they got the Figueroas, I think. I mean, I know you got the Jacobins. Those people pronounce that different anyway. You've got your giant runts. You got your show homers. You got all these different breeds. So once you figure out what you want, on average, like I said, you want like a square foot per bird. I like to break it down. Like I said, give them 3 square foot, at least 2 per bird. Just make sure, because if you overcrowd your loft, if one bird gets sick, it's going to be like on the zombie movies. You know, once a zombie bites that first person and there's nowhere to run and hide, that all of a sudden you got 1 zombie, then you got 2 zombies, and now 2 zombies are biting everybody, and it just spreads. Well, the same thing if you get disease in your loft. One bird gets sick and you don't catch it in time, you don't see it. Now all of a sudden this bird's got another bird sick. Well, now you've got 2 sick birds, and all of a sudden those sick birds are now, instead of right here, you got here and here. So everything around these 2 are getting sick. So that's more birds. And before you realize it, your whole loft has come down with some, hopefully not fatal disease, but sometimes they are. So your smaller lofts, you just got to watch a little more careful. Just give them a little more room, stay away from each other. And that also helps you with your breeding stuff, because right now in here, I said the birds aren't that crowded, but I feel like they are. But I have problems with some of the birds when they pair up. When they try to mate, some of these other birds, cockbirds and stuff, will fly down and knock them off of each other. It's like jealousy. I don't know what they're doing actually. They will not let them mate. So I have a lot of problem with that issue also. So if you got more room, they can get off in a quiet little cozy corner by themselves or something and do their little thing they want to do. I'll put it that way. But I'm going to take the camera off of the tripod for a second. I'm going to show you a couple of the smaller lofts I got. It's I think I've showed y'all before, but I'm going to show y'all again. I've got one that's a 6x8, but I've got it divided down the middle. So it's pretty much, it's a 2 4x6s, but it's all built together. It has to move as one piece. But that was originally built for Bantams, not for pigeons. But I've kind of pulling away from the whole Bantam showing now. Now that I've got the more expensive bred pigeons, I want to put more effort and time into them. So I've still got a handful of my show birds. Don't know if I'm gonna keep them or not, but as far as the show Bantams, I'm sorry. And then I've gave most of them away. But like I said, I'm trying to make room for more pigeons, because that's another thing too. When you get pigeons, a lot of people want 1,000 pigeons at one time. They just want to go out here and just get everything they can from everywhere they can and bring them in, and just, I want pigeons, pigeons, pigeons. Well, they don't realize pigeons breed like rats. I'm not lying. They only usually have 2 babies, 2 eggs per nest. Every so often you'll find 3. Not very common. Sometimes you only get 1. An egg get broke. You only get 1 egg, or they only lay 1 egg. But the thing about it is, you can take 2 pair of pigeons, 4 birds, take 2 pair, in just a matter of a few months, you can already have, like I said, the babies off of those. Right now, my birds, I'm having to pull eggs away because I've already got all the babies I want. And they're still raising babies that are only half grown in the nest. And I walk in and there's already other eggs in the nest where they've started relaying again. After about 2 weeks, they'll start laying again. And they'll sit on those eggs while they're still feeding these babies. And then finally, after about a month, these babies are ready to leave the nest. Well, in 3 weeks, these eggs are ready to hatch. So they'll push these babies out. They'll start raising these, and they'll just keep raising. That's why when you go to these places, big cities and stuff, you just see hundreds and thousands of pigeons everywhere, and people hate them, and because they just breed so fast. So be careful about that. Get you a couple of pair, 3 or 4 pair. If you just want more birds in there, look, 4 pairs, 8 birds. This loft behind you is plenty of room for 8 birds. And I'm telling you, give it 6 months, those 8 birds will turn into 25. And like I said, when the pigeons get about, I got to double check, between 4 and 6 months, I think, they can actually start breeding. The males are a little bit faster, females, before they start laying. I know chickens are a little different, so I'm getting my egg thing crossed here. But in just 6 months, these babies are ready to start having babies of their own. And like I said, before you realize it, you've got a crowded loft that is just packed with everything. So just take your time, get you one good bloodline. And we're going to go over that another video also about where to get the birds from. But get you one good bloodline that you like from a respectable, breeder or whatever. Get those. Get you, like I said, 2, 3 pair, 4 pair, whatever. Just keep it simple at first. Get those and raise off of them. And I'm telling you, before long, they're going to explode on you. So, but I'm going to go and take the camera off the tripod for a second. Video will be a little bit shaky. I'll try to hold it steady. I'm going to show y'all the other loft. And then we're going to go outside and show y'all where the other one is going to be. And then once they deliver it, I'll show it to you. And then once I actually get it set up, which will be a few weeks, so I've got to, like I said, cut windows, make fly pins and all that for it. But when I get it set up and ready to go, I'll show it to you in another video of how I've got that new loft set up. Anyway, this is the small loft I told you about. This is the one that's, like I said, it's 4 foot wide by 6 foot deep. So, and then the other one's the same way. So the whole thing is a 6x8. If I want to take the divider out in the middle right here, I'd have a 6x8, but I'm gonna leave it divided. And then I can actually use this for in case Jericho wants any other show pigeons or any of that will come up in the future. Or if I have a couple of pairs that I want to single out and put in here, I've already got the nest boxes and all built. I've got enough in here for 4 birds. For 8 birds, 4 pair. So, here. Easy, buddy. So anyway, so I get focused in, make sure I'm focused. Anyway, so you got a 4x8. You got room for, a 4x6. So how many is that, folks? Come on, do the math. 2 times 6 is 12. You got enough room for around 24 birds in each loft, if I'm not badly mistaken. So yeah, 4x6 should be 24. So you got room for 24 in here. Like I said, I'm only going to have 8 at the most type thing. And of course, this over here, we're currently using for her baby chicks, which we've got a couple. See the little light ones back here. A couple of her little blue lace Wyandotte deals. Then some other ones that we're going to end up giving away. But they'll be moving out here pretty quick. Like I said, her loft will be here today too. We get it set up. They'll be moving out of here back over there. So I still have the nest boxes, exact copy as the other one over here. I just don't have any perches on this side. I didn't put them up, which actually the birds hardly even use the perches every now and then. Most of the time, just keeping a couple of birds. They usually sit right on top of the boxes or in the boxes with the babies. So anyway, like I said, you have a small one right here, which I think is 2 foot by 3 foot. And so technically, I guess I could put around 6 birds in that cage. Do I want to? No. I just have Tom Selleck and his son right now, the little almonds. But like I said, as soon as the other birds get out of those other 2 lofts, these 2 actually go in one of those lofts. And then if anything else in the future, we want to do whatever, if I want to separate out some, whatever, we can put them over there too. But, so it doesn't take that much. But like I said, even that right here, Tom Selleck doesn't fly around too much, his baby doesn't either. But I still feel bad about them being in something this small. So I want to get them in something they have a little more flight room. That's why I'm putting them in these other ones. There again, you can keep them in smaller cages. I just don't personally recommend it. I don't like doing it. Anyway, I'm going to show y'all a quick deal. I'm outside now. I'm not sure if we're going to put her chicken loft. It's an 8x10, and I'll have to build a run on the front. I'm not sure if I want to put it here or on this side. I think we have enough room over here. It'll actually have a little more shade over here, so we just got to see. And then again, it may end up, if they have enough room, I may end up putting it right in here. I don't know. I just want to kind of keep it shaded too. Give him plenty of shade, because it gets hot during the summer. But the pigeon loft, like I said, right now, we still have the small chicken house. And Conway toured in. And I can't think of her name right now anyway. Those 2 are in there. But this right here's got plenty of room. What I want to do is put the pigeon loft right over here. This way, you see all the shade right here. I'm gonna put it over here. That way in the mornings, it's gonna face back behind you, and the sunlight will hit the front of it, and the fly pens and everything. The birds want to come out and get some morning sunlight and bathe in the sun, whatever they want to do, they can. And then once it gets hot, I'm gonna have ventilation put in that. I'm gonna put it in myself. I'm gonna put ventilation deals to keep the heat drew out of it, because it does get kind of warm. When I went and looked at it, it gets kind of hot in there because it doesn't have any windows or anything. So what I want to do is just kind of put it right over here behind me. This right here will be moved out of the way. I don't know what we're going to do with it yet. I don't know. This right here is a little cheap thing off of Amazon we got. Did not work out. So, but it has done its job so far. It's kept them safe. They have a little lay-in box, and they have a place to sleep at night. But I said we're getting a way bigger version, nicer version of this right here. I'm gonna probably take one of the 5x10 kennels and put on the front of that one for her chicken house. And like I said, it should be moved out of the way. And the pigeon loft will sit right out here, this little flat area. And like I said, during the main part of the deal, it's already 3:30 in the afternoon. I said morning earlier, I apologize. It's 3:30 in the afternoon. But during the hottest part of the day, this big tree keeps us here pretty much shaded. And then even as the sun goes down, all these other trees behind me keeps this, pretty much shaded. So that'll help a lot. But in the morning, when the sun comes up over here, I said all that sun comes right in here, especially in the wintertime. Those birds get real cold at night. They can tolerate a lot of heat. A lot of cold. But they like us. You get so cold and you can't get warm, you'll get sick. So in the morning time, that's as soon as that sun comes up, they can come out the fly pen in the winter and get all that fresh sunlight they want, warm up, this, and that. So as soon as they get here and they actually start putting them in, I'll get the camera back out and show y'all a little bit more. But for right now, that's all I've got. So just a waiting game. As soon as they get here, we'll see what happens. Hey guys, welcome back. Sorry I did not get back with y'all yesterday. They came kind of late. I mean, great people. They deliver so many, you get tied up a little bit more on this one, that one. So he was running a few minutes late. So he got here a little bit later than what he thought. It took him a few minutes to get this thing set up. I mean, it wasn't hard. He wasn't here 30, 45 minutes. It was just later on, started to get dark on us. So I come out here today to actually tell the loft real quick. I'm going to finish the video up. We got Jerica's loft done. I'll do that in the next video too, show y'all that one, her little chicken thing. All her chickens are named pretty much after the Golden Girls. So we come up with a name for her chicken shed, and it's going to be Shady Pines. So anybody that follows Golden Girls or whatever, the females out there that likes it, we'll show you hers. You can follow her on the channel. But anyway, this is going to be an 8x12. I'll go over more later on in the next video about how to set it up, or how I personally want mine set up. There again, you can do any option you want, any size you want. You can go as big or small. Like I said, the other one, the big loft over here is a 24x28, and I have lofts built inside it, which the breeding loft in that building is a 8x12. I didn't plan on going that big on this one. I wanted something smaller, like an 8x8, 7x7, but they gave me a good deal on this one. So I figured I could always divide it up if I want to, this, and this, if I think it's too big. So whatever I want to do later, I could make 2 lofts out of it. But I've got to start on this one, build the fly pens, do the inside, get all that set up, and then we can actually put some birds in here and start training them to race out of this loft. So I just want to show y'all real fast. Like I said, I'm going to end the video. I'll get back with y'all hopefully in the next week as I get this here set up, and show y'all how I've got mine done. Excuse me, but any questions, feel free to ask. Again, I'm sorry it took so long to put these videos out. We just had so much going on, as I explained the first of the video, so I do apologize again, but maybe we can get everything straightened out now and get some videos out a little bit faster. I've got more plans for some videos to keep them coming out a little faster. Some of them are more simple videos. I just got to sit down and actually do them, about where to get pigeons, stuff of that nature, how to do your breeding records, and what companies I use or what programs I use, that kind of thing. So anyway, I'm going to get out here and leave y'all alone, and hope y'all enjoy this video. If you do, don't forget to like, subscribe, please. It helps me out. As we can get the channel growing a little bit bigger, I can do bigger stuff. So just see y'all next time.